guys, it's Becky with Design Bundles, and today I'm super excited to talk to you about Leatherette. Now, Leatherette, faux leather, marine leather, a lot of them have the same meaning and name, and people use them interchangeably, but what we're calling ours today is Leatherette. Now, I have some really great patterns for you, and I'm super excited to show you. This is actually a project that you don't even need your cutting machine for, but it's okay if you'd rather use your cutting machine. Just remember that you're going to draw rectangles that are 1 inch long by at least 10 to 12 inches wide. Okay, that's the size of your strip. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started, and I'm going to show you how easy these are. So like I said, this project is so super easy. Like, you literally cannot even imagine how easy this project is. So what I have is my basic paper trimmer, right? Get that at any craft store. I scored this kit on Amazon, and this is specifically what it's for. If you search for key fob clamp, it should come up with kits. So I got the clamp and the end pieces here. Now this is something special. I always joke that this makes you part of the cool kids club because this is the super glue that brushes on. And I really do recommend this when working with faux leather like this. So as we have here, I'm gonna leave that uncapped, so don't let me knock it over. And then this is my gorgeous faux leather. You guys know I'm a real big fan. And I've selected 3 pieces. I'm going to make 3 separate key fobs for you just to show how easy it is. So all I did, and I can show you, is I selected any piece of leatherette. I'm gonna feed it in. Now, this paper trimmer, I have a 1 here and a 1 here. So it makes it real easy because I can line it up with my 1 line on this side, come here, give it a trim, you have your strip. And that's literally all you have to do. Now these sheets are 8 by 10, so I know that these 10-inch lengths work really well. You can always measure them out if you want to. All right, but my judge is basically I want this to be able to fit over my wrist. All right. So what I have here, I do have this one is a little bit longer. This one came in, I believe 13 inches, an 8 by 13 inch sheet. So let me put this away. So here we go. So I have all 3 of these. I will start with the longest one first. What we're gonna do is we're gonna select, I have 2 different patterns here. I have really a pattern and a solid, but this one I happen to have this honeycomb print here, okay? Slide these out of the way. I don't need these right now. I did put down a piece of butcher paper because I'm a very messy crafter and I have been turned loose with super glue. So there we go. And then you want to fold this. You can line up the end and you want to fold this the same way that you want it to go. All right, line up the sides, kind of like you would stack some paper. Line up the sides. Okay, plenty of room. Don't worry too much because you can trim your ends here, so you don't have to worry about that. But go ahead and get it in place. Grab your scissors, trim it down, grab your clamp, and I like that these clamps already come with a little key ring on there. Grab your tool. One thing to check out is you want to examine and make sure that your teeth are intact and that they're both facing out. And then this is specifically sized for 1 inch, so that's why I cut my strips to 1 inch. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and slide it in. Then I'm gonna hold the back with my finger. Make sure your key ring slides out of the way. I'm gonna take my clamp and push it down. Now don't push it down quite all the way, say I have a little bit of a gap, and I just take a look at it. I make sure that it's straight. At this point, I can still give it a little tug one way or the other if I need to. And once it's straight, you can finish pressing down all the way. Okay, so you may be asking yourself, why didn't I just use a pair of pliers? Well, because I've tried to use a pair of pliers in the past and they dented my hardware. So I'm pretty excited that I now have that tool. So you may also be asking, well, Becky, now you have this gap. That's where the super glue is gonna come in. Now, can you super glue these down before you do the clamp? Yes, you can. Is it a little bit easier? Well, maybe, but it's not a lot easier. And I really like that I can just come in and I don't have to worry about getting super glue everywhere trying to glue these together ahead of time. And even when I did super glue these together ahead of time, I still had to come in and glue some of the edges down. So it really wasn't like a foolproof plan. All right, so get one side
And then you can turn it over and we'll get the other side. Now do you see why I really like the brush? And all I'm doing, I mean, just kind of like you would do fingernail polish, just making sure that I get some super glue on the ends, and then you can paint it on anywhere. Now you will feel the super glue heating up. That's like the activation process. That's okay. Don't be alarmed. Just make sure you push it down really well, fuse those together, and you can set this one off to the side. We'll check on it again after the super glue fuses. And move on to the next one. So you're gonna do the same exact thing, line them up. I always do my pattern sides to the outside. I just think that they're prettier that way. Now these lined up really well on the end, so I don't have to trim those. All right, so I'm gonna line up my clamp, take my tool, give it a little half squeeze, get it all straightened out, and then come back and do the rest of it. All right, and of course you can give it a little tug. So basically those teeth really bite into the faux leather, and I mean, I guess you could use real leather, but that's what gives it that staying power. So you want to clamp it down really well to make sure it goes all the way through all of the layers, since we're doing, it's actually 4 different layers of faux leather. Now this third one I'm going to do a little bit different. It's going to be for those of you who are using a regular tube of super glue, which is totally fine, but it means that you may not have the versatility that you're seeing here in the brush, or just those of you who are not convinced that being able to slide the super glue in between the layers is going to give me enough adhesion. That's okay, I completely understand. Okay, I'm gonna let it set up there. So, what I want to talk to you about, say you want to glue these together before folding them. Okay, well, technically that's okay, but what I'm going to recommend, and you can see I have one that's longer than the other, that's okay. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and glue one end together. And what I'm doing is I held it in place with one hand, applied the glue with the other, and I'm still gonna go ahead and fold it. And I promise this will make sense. I'm still gonna go ahead and fold it and line it up. So with it folded, now I'm gonna apply my glue on this end. And I didn't apply a whole lot, just enough to keep it secure. And I'm gonna wait for those to cure. And what I wanna show you is, this is why we don't just glue them down flat to each other, because since this layer is on the outside and this layer is on the inside, when you fold them, you actually end up with this little bit of a hump here. So I either like to glue the ends together, and then I can come in with my glue and glue the middle down. And then I'm still gonna fold it right back where it belongs to do the smushing. Okay, now faux leather has a little bit of a give, but not a whole lot, but you can give it a little tug to make sure you get a good key fob. And then for this one, now we can apply the actual clamp. If you have any problems, you can also hold it on the ends here, and that'll keep it a little bit, that'll keep your fingers out of the way when you're clamping. There we go. Just check it out. I think this one's my new favorite. I'm really digging it. It has fall foxes on it. Okay, so you can always examine your edge, see if you have any areas that need touched up or glued back together. And you can touch that up with your super glue. And once they fully dry, literally in what, about 5 minutes, I have 3 separate gorgeous little key fobs. And of course you can attach your keys. You can give them as gifts. And these are very cost effective because Leatherette is actually very affordable. So you don't have to worry about investing a whole lot of money to do today's project.
So, I mean, literally, like I said, it does not get any easier. And if you have a paper trimmer, you don't even need to use your cutting machine. You can decide on the length. I found that 10 inches, in my opinion, was the least I was willing to go so that I could comfortably keep it on and off my wrist. But you may want to check it out, and especially if you're selling, you can offer these in different lengths so that people can choose what works for them. So anyway, if you have any questions about what we've done, about working on the project, make sure you leave them below. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel because we have a lot of really great ideas for you right around the corner. Thanks for watching today. We'll see you next time.